Let me see if I can find a video of Biden doing that. Oh, I found it.
I think you should take a cognitive.
Didn't give a fuck about Mob 2. Who cares? What MAGA says about Democrats is completely what they are. The poison Kool-Aid needs a vaccine. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what it is. Just like Democrats saying, "Oh yeah, Biden's fine. He's in a perfect mental state." The dude couldn't finish a fucking sentence, couldn't remember a single person's name, would walk away mid-conference. What do you mean? You mean
Well, I hope by the beginning of the weekend. I mean, the end of the weekend. At least my national security advisor tells me that we're close. We're close. It's not done yet. And my hope is by next Monday, we'll have a ceasefire.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. That's totally out.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's my
Your memory has gotten worse, Mr. President?
My memory is not good. My memory is fine.
How much it means to me to have you swear me in court. And I thank you. How much it means to me This is the highest honor to be a 25th in confidence. I've got a lot of thanks to give out. Here in confidence.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh?
Joe Biden took his time to call presidential press conference number 1, 64 days into the job, apparently the slowest new president to formally take questions since at least the 1940s, taking time to getting organised.
Okay, hang on. Sorry. Oh, sing me, Miss Kim.
Moving forward, seemingly
Supposed to be a joke. And by the way, crotch crickets, when you're the president of the United States, you don't joke about a virus that's killing hundreds of thousands of people, you stupid ass. But it wasn't a joke. What happens to MobTube? What do you mean, what happens to MobTube? I couldn't give a fuck about MobTube. Who cares? What MAGA says about Democrats is completely what they are. The poison Kool-Aid needs a vaccine. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what it is. Just like Democrats saying, "Oh yeah, Biden's fine. He's in a perfect mental state." The dude couldn't finish a fucking sentence, couldn't remember a single person's name, would walk away mid-conference. What do you mean? You mean like
to better hear questions and stumbles.
If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're ready to get a lot done.
The president hardly hiding signs of his 78 years, instead upping the ante on those who've written him off as too old.
You haven't set up a re-election campaign yet, as your predecessor had by this time.
My predecessor needed to. My predecessor. Oh, God, I miss him. Stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens?
I'll keep the food.
That's why I made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago, you know, as well as my tenure as vice president. Great job. Hey, everyone. I'm Joe Biden's husband.
Build a website you love.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
What happened in the hunger event today? The president appeared to look around the room for an audience member, a member of Congress who passed away last month.
Let me tell you who else is noticing that. Donald Trump. Did you see what he recently said about he wants to see the economy crash this year? A sitting president. What did he say in my face? Bless me, Father, for, at the conference overall, we talked about stability. We talked about making sure that the third world, the Southern Hemisphere had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the count. Press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. I saw that made me aware when I was in law school. Proudly for Holloway. Proudly for your dad. First African-American state senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. Look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what. The men, they're not all men. The guys I work with down here. And they're all guys at the time. They're all good men. Most of them made an awful lot of themselves. And Earl Larkin had a rough time. And some of you knew Earl. I came back as a public defender.
Anything about working here for 50 years?
Yeah, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Haney?
Oh, you going back on the other way?
I want to go that way.
You can go that way.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. I notice how much
world's looking to us. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We act together. In this case, acting together includes acting with our NATO allies. God bless you all. May God protect our speakers, and I promise I'll come back and answer questions later. Thank you.
Sir, when Trump said that, sir, what did Putin do?
What's plan B if the speaker doesn't act?
Sir, the hostages.
On the college campus is to fundamentally change the culture. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. It's a gigantic issue.
To what extent has Vladimir Putin been weakened by recent events? It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home. And he has become a bit of a fly around the world.
Let me see if I can find a video of Biden doing that. Oh, I found it.
I think you should take a cognitive cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. Dr. Ronnie Johnson.
His ass. How do you explain BBC manufacturing President Trump's speech? What do you have to say about it? Why did BBC do it? How many times did they did it before? You were a fool. No, you're a fucking fool. I'm not BBC, and I don't give a fuck what they did, because Trump's interviews and all his horse shit, and they didn't manufacture a speech. How would they do that, dipshit? They just edited it. Okay? And guess what?
Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Has tonight resigned as Director General of the BBC. Tim Davie has tonight resigned as Director General of the BBC, along with the CEO of BBC News, Deborah Turness, after a week of criticism of BBC News coverage and allegations of editorial mistakes.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Throw a super chat my way if you can. Biden lost his train of thought a few times in the debate when he was sick with a virus and jet lag. And about it, why did BBC do it? How many times did they did it before? You were a fool. No, you're a fucking fool. I'm not BBC, and I don't give a fuck what they did. Because Trump's interviews and all his horse shit, and they didn't manufacture a speech. How would they do that, dipshit? They just edited it. Okay? How do you explain BBC? I do. You've been brainwashed to believe that anybody who doesn't like Donald Trump is a liberal. I'm no liberal. I'm not even close. I don't know how I blocked her. I can't unblock her right now either. Fuck. I don't know what to do. They want you to change the subject because they're running out of excuses. Of course, of course. Everybody is gay now. This whole thing is hilarious. Not the victims, though. Everybody is gay now? Well, Nate, if you're gay and that's your way of coming out, hey, more power to you. I give you respect for doing it. And thank you for doing it in my chat, by the way. I personally am not gay. I love pussy. Thank you for doing it in my chat, by the way. I personally am not gay. I love BBC, man. manufacturing President Trump's speech. What do you have to say about it? Know what to say, because again, educated people, talking to them is like talking to a drunk baby possum. More powerful, or more power to the people leaving MAGA. I don't believe in Satan, but they are brainwashed. I'll just say that. See, this guy right here, he won't debate me for shit. He'll just come in here and insult me because he doesn't know what to say. Because again, I'm making his fucking orange leader look like a fucking clown, and you should be ashamed of yourself, especially if you're a goddamn man, for fucking sucking this guy off the way you do. It's kind of fucking embarrassing, don't you think? BBC still used Trump's actual verbiage. They just shortened it because nobody wanted to hear the long lies that he had to say. They wanted to get straight to the point of what he said. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's called editing for time and shit like that. And all of Trump's shit gets edited. Nobody says a word. But when he tells you guys BBC did something wrong, you don't look into it, you don't research it, you just say BBC did something wrong. You know, you don't have to watch fuckface. Here, I'll let you go. Here, now you don't have to worry about it. You could still watch, of course. I hope you don't, but you can't come in the chat anymore. You use a voiceover to try to prove your point when people can actually go back and look at the actual videos. You're a dumbass. Voiceover? Tell me exactly what video you're talking about, and I will show you the full unedited clip. Tell me which video or which video clip you're talking about, you stupid fuck, because none of those videos are manipulated in any way, and I will gladly pull up the whole clip in context for you. Tell me one part of it that's not real, and watch me make an asshole out of you. I know, but I still like to do this for a living. So when Trump went in, inflation is up. Inflation is up now under Trump. Why does no one mention that Scam Bondi helped give Epstein his sweetheart deal? Because they don't care. It doesn't suit their narrative, you know? You're not reading the comments about biting, sniffing kids. You're moron, making yourself look like a fucking moron. Well said. We watched that video. Do you know, you want to see something? Google, did Biden sniff kids? Okay, Google it. Seriously, you know what it's going to tell you? And you could check a bunch of different fact check websites and sources. There's one video where it looks like Joe Biden sniffed a kid because you could hear him going. They added that you could see the up now under Trump. Why does no one mention that Scam Bondi helped give Epstein his sweetheart deal? Because they don't care. It doesn't suit their narrative, you know? You're not reading the comments about biting, sniffing kids. You're moron, making yourself look like a fucking moron. Well said. We watched that video. Do you know, you want to see something? Google, did Biden sniff kids? Okay, Google it. Seriously, you know what it's going to tell you? And you could check a bunch of different fact check websites and sources. There's one video where it looks like Joe Biden sniffed a kid because you could hear him going. They added that you could see the raw video. It's not even in there. They edited the shit to add that. So that's how fucking manipulative you cocksuckers and your stupid fucking media are. So
Commissioner, when helping.
What commissioner means is that
Joe Biden's cognitive and physical decline has been well documented throughout his administration. Mumbles and stumbles often make headlines and are mocked by primetime television hosts. But what is not widely spoken about is Joe Biden's creepiness. Sniffing children, inappropriate touching, and strange whispering have all come up multiple times throughout his presidency. But the mainstream media seem to sweep the concerning behaviour under the rug. Sky News All-Stars Rita Panahi, Paul Murray and James Morrow exposed Joe Biden's creepiest moments. President Joe Biden claims that the children of America are all our children. But he's taken that claim a little too far on many occasions, acting very strange in his interactions with kids. Arguably the strangest of Joe Biden's creepy behaviour is his hair sniffing and close proximity to children's faces. Here's just a few of those moments.
Yeah, you're good. Let me whisper a secret. Don't tell Mommy what I told you.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. He sniffs too many children, that man.
Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss.
Joe! Stop eating the children! This may be some of the creepiest creepy Joe behavior I've ever seen, and I watch this stuff for a living. Here the president was giving a talk about conservation actions taken by his administration when he spotted, you know where this is going? A small child with lots of very sniffable hair. Let's have a look. Oh, there he goes. He sees the kid. Yeah, picks her up. Yeah. Oh, doesn't look happy. She does not look tremendously happy about this. What is going on here? She's saying, Daddy, can somebody please save me? No! Joe! No! Mr. President, you can't do this. Don't sniff the hair. Don't take the kid with you. This is... Where are we going with this, Mr. President?
Kevin, go down.
Our old mate Swampy Joe, otherwise known as Creepy Joe Biden, had to apologise when he was trying to become the Democratic nominee for kissing too many people on the hair, sniffing their hair, being a bit too awkward all the time. You would have seen this over and over and over again. Very uncomfortable. Thanks very much, Mr. Stay away from me. This was a joke way back when, but then, of course, he wasn't Donald Trump, so we have to pretend that none of this happened. Well, now it doesn't really matter because he can do whatever he wants, including ruin the American economy, and then guess what happens? They'll still keep cheering him on. Well, guess who's just reverted to being creepy President Joe?
But first to the US, and he's back. Yes, Creepy Joe is back. President Joe Biden went off script this week, and it went all wrong when he made these bizarro comments about a little girl while giving a speech at a military base in Virginia. Now, keep in mind, the little girl he's talking about is primary school aged.
I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, and look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
Ew, what? The little girl is like 8 or 9. Let's not comment on how she crosses her legs and pretend that she looks like she's 19. You can imagine the media meltdown if Trump said anything like that.
Oh no, he's done it again.
Now, a very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, No serious guys till you're 30.
Okay. No what?
No serious guys till you're 30.
I'll keep that in mind. At least. Yeah, that's not creepy at all, is it? Getting into a young girl's personal space and telling her not to have any boyfriends until she's 30. And look at how the alarmed Secret Service dude tries to stop this being taped once he sees that Joe has reverted back to this peculiar behaviour.
And it's not only children who the president is making uncomfortable. Celebrities and other world leaders also can't escape Joe's creepiness, says Sky News host Piers Morgan.
There was a moment, Rob, was a bit disconcerting, as so many are with President Biden, where King Charles appeared to be scolding a guard and trying to direct the president. He seemed to be losing his way as to exactly where he was or even what day it is. I don't know if we've got any footage of that, but it was. I think we've got it here, I think. But it was all a bit awkward, and the president does look like he doesn't really know where he is. This is the latest in a series of, well, just embarrassing sort of senior moments.
Yes.
President Biden's fallen over, he's tripped on planes, he's said some daft things and so on. How concerning is this to you as an American citizen?
We've seen President Biden have a lot of gaffes on stage, shaking hands with invisible people. In his defense on this part, I think when a lot of Americans go over there, they haven't been briefed up or studied enough on how to handle the royal family. We've seen it with President Trump. We saw President Obama give the Queen an iPod that didn't work. I think we were talking about the green room. They make a point of accidentally making themselves look like that. Don't walk in front of the king. Even I know that, but I think the king did a good job kind of grabbing President Biden, saying, "Hey, pal, let's do this."
Well, actually, I was more concerned with the president kept grabbing the king, because you just don't touch the monarch. I mean, Louise, we know this. When the Australian Prime Minister Paul Keating once did this to Queen Elizabeth, he was called the Lizard of Oz by the British papers, because you do not touch the monarch. And President Biden kept putting his arms grappling like an octopus around our monarch.
Trying to get a better sniff of it.
But, well, he's also making creepy jokes about Hollywood actress Ava Longoria.
We've known each other a long time. She was 17, I was 40.
Oh, what if the damage is expensive?
Paul? Hey, what? Okay, hey, man, ever hear of Me Too?
And not even fellow Democrats were spared from Joe's awkward embrace. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter were forced to endure prolonged touching from the president, says Sky News host Rita Panahi.
Because this is nothing new. Indeed, Creepy Joe being handsy, inappropriate, and invading people's personal space was something the US media used to note. Even the far-left CNN used to report on his weird antics.
There are hugs where you just throw up your arms and go for it. And then there are hugs that keep going and going and going. Joe Biden wouldn't let Hillary go as they met on the tarmac at Scranton Airport. About 4 seconds into the hug, they semi-disengage. Nothing to see here, right? Wrong, because the vice president wouldn't unhand Hillary for almost 16 seconds.
Notice how many times she tries to tap out. She lets it go, he does not. She tap out. No, she's just, no, he's still holding on. Okay, second tap out. For God's sake, Joe, you gotta let go.
Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when he put his hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
Got a lot of things.
Know what to say, because again, I'm making his fucking orange leader look like a fucking clown, and you should be ashamed of yourself, especially if you're a goddamn man. for fucking sucking this guy off the way you do. It's kind of fucking embarrassing, don't you think? BBC still use Trump's actual I know this guy. This guy's a fucking jerk off of epic proportion. Idiots went around saying that's not what he said. He was talking about hydrochloride. He was talking about these files. What the fuck? If the files are being investigated again, they can't be released. That's why Trump is telling Pam Bondi to, you know, so listen, guys. Oh, he did. He did. Did I vote for Kamala? Of course. I'm a thinking person with a functioning mind. Yeah, of course. You want to debate who would have been better? How is that, Case Fitz? Tell me how Trump is better. Tell me what Kamala's policies were that you didn't like. Which Kamala Harris policies didn't you like? Go ahead. I'll wait. I've done this on like 4 different shows. There's nowhere in there where she accused him of molesting her. Never. It never happened. Come on, man. Open borders, that's not a policy.
Mainly of Jeffrey,
Inflation is up now under Trump. Why does no one mention that Scam Bondi helped give Epstein his sweetheart deal? Because they don't care. It doesn't use a voiceover to try to prove your point when people can actually go back and look at the actual videos. You're a dumbass. Voiceover? Tell me exactly what video you're talking about. Up now, under Trump. What video you're talking about, and I will show you the full unedited clip. Tell me which video or which video clip you're talking about, you stupid fuck, because none of those videos are manipulated in any way, and I will gladly pull up the whole clip in context for you. Tell me one part of it that's not real and watch me make an asshole out of you. I know, but I still like to do this for a living. So when Trump went in, inflation is up. Inflation is up now, under Trump. Why does no one mention that Scam Bondi helped give Epstein his sweetheart? Did Biden sniff kids? Okay, Google it. Seriously, you know what it's going to tell you? And you could check a bunch of different fact check websites and sources. There's one video where it looks like Joe Biden sniffed a kid because you could hear him going. They added that you could see the raw video. It's not even in there. They edited the shit to add that. So that's how fucking manipulative you cocksuckers and your stupid fucking media are. So again, it's not even an issue. And by the way, what if he sniffed the kid's hair? Let's just say he did. That makes him a pedophile. But Trump's saying that he would fuck his own daughter. where it looks like Joe Biden sniffed a kid because you could hear him going. They added that. That you could see the raw video. It's not even in there. They edited the shit to add that. So that's how fucking manipulative you cocksuckers and your.
Thanks to give out.
Conservatives panned it.
This is the creepiest thing.
And so did some liberals.
No, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Why are you appeared to smell her hair?
Joe Biden has also displayed a habit of whispering during press conferences, which he seems to think is comical, but others see as downright creepy.
I'm going to be a bit repetitive. The 8-hour day, the weekend, time and a half for overtime, safety standards, sick days, victories for all of us. Because I might add, I notice when you all do that, everybody benefits.
Don't worry, Joe was also doing all his greatest hits, including The Creepy Whisperer.
Leans in for a kiss.
Stupid fucking media are. So again, it's not even an issue. And by the way, what if he sniffed the kid's hair? Let's just say he did. That makes him a pedophile. But Trump saying that he would fuck his own daughter since she was a little girl. I'd be dating her if I could. Me and her have sex in common. He's speculating about whether his 4-year-old daughter, Tiffany, is going to have huge tits on live TV, speculating. All those things. Let me show you something, and you tell me if any of this is more important than let's just say Biden sniffed a girl's hair. Tell me if any of this is worse than that.
Charges that.
All right.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this blood yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making
I would love some.
Who would have been better? How is that, Case Fitz? Tell me how Trump is better. Tell me what Kamala's policies were that you didn't like. Which Kamala Harris policies didn't you like? Go. Go ahead, I'll wait. I've done this on like 4 different shows. There's nowhere in there where she accused him of molesting her. Never. It never happened. Policy that she ran on for president that you didn't like. You could put on the policy that she ran on for president. Well, of course not. No. Go ahead. What do I care if you put that in there? I have never seen Kamala talk about policy. That's because you never watched. You could literally put on any Kamala Harris fucking rally, or you could put on the debate with Trump. And while Trump was rambling about their eating the
Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Was willing to give up whatever might be the tracking of Kamala Harris's particular fondness for nacho cheese Doritos for the sake of getting a big bag of Doritos as I watched the Oscars.
That's the consumer behavior.
And that's right, but here's the thing.
You know what also excites me? Among the many things, I'm excited about electric school buses. I love electric school buses. I just love them for so many reasons. Maybe because I went to school on a school bus. Hey, raise your hand if you went to school on a school bus, right? What?
You know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong. And Oh, it's so strong. And this very fragile.
Whoa. 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
A bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Cats, they're eating the dogs.
This banana peel.
It's me, what among the many things. Reasons, maybe because I went to school on a school bus. Hey, raise your hand if you went to school on a school bus, right?
What? You know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh. It's so strong. And this very fragile.
Whoa. 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border's secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
A bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
We're too busy watching what you're doing to hear what you're saying.
Oh my God! Wow!
As we all know, elections matter. And when folks vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
The bus has Wi-Fi and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine.
We have a problem.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The challenge that we have as an administration is we got to let people know who brung it to them. That's our challenge.
Good one.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
No better word than stupid. Right? There is none.
The job of the vice president.
She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
She laid out her policy plans. You could go watch it. You guys just say that. You never watched her. So you're like, I never heard her talk about, well, if you don't watch her, you can't. because you never watched the debate. Lap it. I never watched the debate. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. She didn't have any. Okay. Name the one you liked, idiot. $25,000 for new home buyers. $25,000 down payment. Form of a tax credit. I like that. I also like the idea of giving us people who want to open a small business $50,000. To open a small business, I like the idea of raising taxes on the richest people. I like the idea of giving women their reproductive rights back. I like how she wanted to $107 days, yeah. And she only lost by 2 million votes. Fucking Joe Biden won by way more than that against Trump. Our economy would be so much better without Trump. Economists warned us that Trumponomics would take a few months to really kick in. Wreck things, worst layoffs since 2009. 1.1 million layoffs so far in 2025. What is this? She laid out 750 to South Carolina per person that lost a home. That's what she. Yeah, no, that wasn't true. First of all, that Kamala wasn't the president. You realize that, right? Kamala didn't do shit because vice presidents don't do shit. What does JD Vance do? You can't tell me. What did any fucking vice president do? Tell me specifically. They don't do. It's one president at a time. And by the way, the 750 thing, that goes to show how stupid you are, because all that was a temporary thing until they could get them more money, until they got insurance money, something like that. It was just a $750 initial thing so they could take it right away and survive for a week or 2 weeks, whatever, food and shit like that. So $750 was the first payment. So please, without a I doubt she would have. Yep. I named a bunch, Lord Dabblethorn. I named a bunch. Where's that Kobe coming from? Oh no. Yes, it's a great one, isn't it? People make millions of dollars, bashing Trump. Tell us what Trump has done. That you dislike because it is not about Trump, it is about eliminating radicalism. No. I don't like that Trump mishandled the COVID, we'll just call it the pandemic, okay, grossly to the point where 1 million people died. And he left office with 14% unemployment. And he was the first president since Herbert Hoover to lose jobs instead of gain them. He lost 2.5 million jobs while he was in office. He was a big reason for inflation because of his gross mishandling of COVID. Um, The big beautiful bill is horrible. It's gonna raise taxes on the poorest people and lower taxes for the richest people. $30,000. You're making 30,000 or less. You're going to be taxed 74% more than you were before the big beautiful bill. Stuff like that makes me sick. I can name shit forever. What do you mean? I don't like the way ICE is fucking knocking out old women in the middle of the street, handcuffing American citizens and locking. Locking them up only to find out that they're not illegal and then they have to let them go because they're fucking stupid. I don't like the fact that he's a pedophile. I don't like the fact that he said he wants to fuck his own daughter. I don't like the fact that he looked at a 10-year-old girl and said, I'll be dating her in 10 years. How long you want me to go on? Who doesn't know what a woman is? Neither do you. No, I do. I fucked many of them. Women are people with pussies. That's who women are. Out old women in the middle of the street, handcuffing American citizens and locking them up, only to find out that they're not illegal, and then they have to let them go because they're fucking stupid. I don't like the fact that he's a pedophile. I don't like the fact that he said he wants to fuck his own daughter. I don't like the fact that he looked at a 10-year-old girl and said, I'll be dating her in 10 years. How long you want me to go on? Who doesn't know what a woman is? Neither do you. No, I do. I fucked many of them. Women are people with pussies. That's who. increase taxes on people. The only thing she knows about is ripping 82 billion off and her Don. 82 billion off and her Don. What the fuck does that mean? And her Don. Dude, you're so fucking stupid. You shouldn't have a politics show. Except I'm 1,000 times smarter than you, and that's why I tear apart every one of your dumb fucking arguments. 82 billion what? What does this mean? Go ahead. What are you going to say? So you can pull your dike? Yeah, okay. I don't even know. Why don't you try a coherent comment in the chat? Child tax credit and earned income credit, raising the federal minimum wage, and strengthening regulations on gun manufacturers and corporate behavior. Very true. Controls live. Thank you. A lot of pedos on here. Oh, yeah, most of them. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe, except for the pedos. None of you. There are no world leaders that would have respected Kamala. Well, there definitely are none that respect Trump. Trump is like Vladimir Putin's cockholster, and the whole world knows it. There's videos of like world leaders at summits and shit laughing at him. He's a fucking clown. You think he's taken seriously? Please. Collide.
2022. Producers, please check that for me. 2022. Thank you very much. So here's Joe Biden. And who is Joe Biden met by? This happens to be a local town mayor, okay? No members of the royal family. Saudi Arabia is a kingdom. This is a local town mayor and his interns. That's it. This is what Joe Biden gets met by. Look at that. An empty runway. Look at that freaking empty runway. Can we please, Killer Klein, go to how Donald Trump was welcomed to Saudi Arabia? See if you can spot the difference here in President Trump's arrival versus Joe Biden's arrival, shall we? There we go. We'll get some audio in there. That's fine. Let's let it go. So they fire cannons, and that is, of course, the king of Saudi Arabia with the entire royal family. So the entire royal court
Or lost because she is a drunk. Okay, that's something else Republicans have made up. There's no evidence whatsoever of Kamala being an alcoholic or even having a drinking problem of any sort. So I'll tell you what, give me the credible source and I'll pull it up now. She was never elected. Oh, here we go again. She was elected as vice president. They all just jump on Kamala hate train. Kamala, my bad.
Media platform
All right.
spread across so
because this asshole doesn't think I'm telling the truth, and he thinks he's calling me out. Show it. Now I'll show it and watch that he'll come up with some fucking excuse for why it just doesn't matter. It's not valid, something. And I bet you he won't be man enough to say, okay, my apologies. I was wrong. I didn't think that happened. No. They never admit when they're wrong. Just like their leader. All right.
Across social media faster than a rumor. The 79-year-old president was discussing a plan to cut prices for weight loss drugs.
Big button.
Across social media faster than a rumor. The 79-year-old president was discussing a plan to cut prices for weight loss drugs. But the headlines weren't about healthcare savings. They were about whether the president was, well, awake.
No, I want to show you the actual video of it happening. Fuck all that bullshit.
Guys, please do subscribe our channel. Trump sparks health appearing to nod off pharmaceutical companies was briefly interrupted after a man collapsed. But it's what happened before that moment that caught public attention. Clips from the broadcast show Trump sitting behind the Resolute desk, with his eyes closed and shoulders slumped, prompting speculation that the president had fallen asleep. The footage quickly spread across social media platforms.
All right. There we go.
Were you okay? Yeah.
A man collapsed near.
Oh my God. If this doesn't show the fucking video, I'm going to snap.
6th, during a press conference about reducing the cost of weight loss drugs. Cameras captured the incident as Eli Lilly's CEO, Dave Ricks, was at the podium talking about his company when suddenly a man who has yet to be identified started stumbling before slowly collapsing to the floor. Ricks quickly paused his remarks as Dr. Oz rushed to the man's side. President Trump then slowly got up and looked over as several people helped the individual.
In America,
recently,
we've been advancing science and creating high-value jobs. But today,
My bad. Hold on.
David Ricks, who we've been talking, we've been in this Oval Office again and again. You keep and again. David Ricks, who we've been talking, we've been in this Oval Office again and again. You keep saying he's the smartest guy in industry, that he could talk a dog off a meat truck. It came to the table, and Mike Newstar told me, he said,
you convinced people for 20 years that it was okay for Europe to pay $10 and for America to pay $140. That's why they make 45, 50 million a year. Finally, I said, I got it, right? You did. But anybody could do that at their time. But now it's down to what it should be.
And Mike Newstar told me what a pleasure it was to negotiate with people who were smart, who had common sense, who were able to put themselves in his
There we go. Look at him falling asleep. Look.
Position and hammer out this deal that is good for everybody. it's great for the American public. I want to close again by just saying that this is a tool in the toolkit. It is not a silver bullet.
Look, they're even panning away from him because they see him falling asleep.
It is an arrow in our quiver. It will allow a lot of people who are locked into high-risk obesity to finally lose weight, to reset, and then start doing the kind of things.
This guy was a heroin addict for 12 years. He's talking to people about health.
That will address the root causes of obesity. So I want to thank these extraordinary CEOs for sticking with us on this, for allowing us to make this happen. Mike Dustar said to me,
Look what motherfuckers they are. They panned away during this.
and we've known we've had to do this for many years. We just haven't been able to get over the edge, and that this President Trump's order, his executive order, was a catalyst to do something that we always knew needed to be done. So again, thank you for your vision, for your commitment, and thank you to all the CEOs and all of my team for making this historic agreement happen.
Bobby, you haven't changed your view on Tyler.
So there you go. There's him falling asleep, but still want the video where they don't fucking pan away from him and you see him falling asleep. You already saw him, but there's more. There's more. So bear with me. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Hold on, bear with me. All right, watch this. Watch this. This is better.
His Saudi Arabia trip.
Enhanced joint cooperation on ammunition, training,
You can say, I didn't say that. Oh, Mom, yeah. Did I? I'm just wondering because this unsub 223 is a stupid fuck, but I can't imagine that. Hold on, you guys won't give me an answer, so I'll just check. I can't. Like this guy has dementia. Don't worry, the Trump supporters, no matter what, they'll never admit
They said, sir, Don't dignify it with an anonymous
ability to complete simple sentences.
Saudi Arabian right. The oranges of the investigation.
You may also notice someone veering into incoherent ideas. Of critical responsibilities and disqualified from any position of authority. Remember, frontotemporal function, such as a wavering limb and decreased balance, often accompanied by a signature lean or arched stance. If someone you know is demonstrating several or all of these symptoms, they are seriously unwell. As a matter of safety, they must be relieved of critical responsibilities
You know, the kids at the pool, they'd play with the hair on my legs, run their hands up and down. You know, the kids at the pool, they'd play with the hair on my legs, run their hands up and down. Yeah, it's true. And once at the thing with the, you know, anyway, just forget it.
Did he just shake the
The kids at the pool would play with the hair on his legs, running their hands up and down.
Did he just say?
And so the thing with the, you know, just forget it.
We have to win.
In a world in trouble, one leader refuses to back down.
I'm shutting it down until I get what I want. I'll tell them it's all his fault.
We need you, Mr. President. You're the only one that can save us.
Disney presents The Schumer Shut. In a world in trouble, one leader
We can do this.
Are we almost done? Whatever we have to do, we have to win.
Whoa! What the? We can do this.
Wow, checker.
It's okay. I'm a hunter. And my dad's pretty powerful.